What's up, guys? So here I have my first V8 E34. As I mentioned, if you guys watched my update video a few weeks back, this is it. So this is, to get this out of the way, this is a 95 530, but don't be disappointed, it has a B40 swapped into it. So that is why I've been calling it the 540. Sorry if you have an issue with that, but at the end of the day, the B40 is what makes a 540 a 540. Large case diff, I could care less. And the bigger brakes, that sucks, but whatever. It's got a B40, so I'm just gonna call it the 540 for simplicity's sake. But here she is. I picked this thing up in Wisconsin a few weeks back. It was a huge impulse buy. I was sitting in class and I saw this thing on the marketplace. No price, but the pictures are what brought me to it, and that is because I'll try to dig them up and put them in this video because you'll be intrigued as well. But this thing was slammed on CCW wheels, and I was like, no way is that thing gonna be at all cheap. I just want to check it out, right? But then I see that it's not running, and I see it's coming on stock wheels, and I'm like, okay, all right, maybe this price will, maybe this guy's a negotiable or whatever. Surely enough, I ask him, he gives me a price, and it is a steal, because this car is actually on, you probably can't tell from right now, it's on airlift. It's actually on airlift 3S, so I didn't even know that existed, but it's not 3P, it's not 3H, so you don't have pressure sensors, you don't have height sensors, which sucks. It's kind of like the Bel Air where you just adjust the air and you kind of just got to feel it out. But yeah, it's got airlift management, and it's on, I think they're called D2 shocks, is what a company that makes airlift suspension for these cars. So yeah, I'll air it out for you guys in a minute, but this thing is on air, so the price I paid is basically a free car. I paid for basically an air setup, which I will never turn down. I keep getting lucky, you know, the E30 came on air, and that was a really cheap car, not running. This was on air, really cheap car, not running. So yes, that is the kicker with this car. It does not run, but I'm not too worried about that. I'll obviously have a video right after this of me trying to get this thing running, see what's up with it. The story is, the guy said it's not getting fuel. Changed the pump, changed the relay, still not getting fuel. I have my thoughts on that, and I kind of think that he messed something up, or either did the wrong relay or wired in the pump all goofy. And surely enough, I looked at under that the trunk, and the pump setup does not look good. I'll get into that in the next video. But yeah, it's not running, which sucks. But other than that, the main flaw with this car is the fact that this thing was wrapped a few years back. I don't think I'll be able to get the pictures to show you guys because they're on the phone that came with the car. I'll get into that as well. But I don't have pictures of it in its prime. But as you can see from the side skirt, it was like Nardo gray. And they pulled the wrap off and left, for some reason, the side skirt and the sunroof. Don't know why. But because it was wrapped, this guy sanded down all the imperfections. So you can see this fender. This door is the worst of it. There's sand marks everywhere. Right here is pretty bad. The roof is pretty bad, but the roof is whatever. And then trunk has some marks right there. And this door, and then this door is clean. And then this fender is pretty bad. This is probably the worst fender on the car. So along with that, the car came with actually a gray front bumper, but you'll see I already have an Alpine one on there. So let me explain myself here. So luckily enough for me, Tim, my local buddy, E34 guy, has an Alpine white 540, right? So I already went and did all this. I picked up, the car was totaled on the passenger side, but I picked up a driver fender, driver door, back driver door, and a trunk. So, and a fuel pump and the whole assembly back there. So yeah, I got this entire car basically to replace, which will absolutely transform this thing, because the fenders on this thing are pulled because it was on really wide wheels. So this fender's junk. This, like I said, is the worst door. And then we're missing door trim gaskets, which can literally make the nicest car look like junk. That's why this thing looks so rough. Missing trim. All the trim came with the car, so don't worry, that'll all be going on there. But yeah, I got all the doors. So that'll also be another video. I'll be swapping out the doors, the fender, the trunk, doing all the body stuff. And then from there, he has the wide nose hood, but he wants it for his touring. So he said he'll sell me the narrow nose. So the hood's not horrible, but the front is pretty sanded down, and it did come with a badge, it's just not on there. So I may just go ahead and buy his narrow nose Alpine white hood and front grille and just narrow nose swap this but have a nicer hood. So we'll see. But yeah, I got the bumper off of them. I already put that on. I had to put that on. It was hideous with no bumper. So that basically leaves this car with, this fender's really shoddy, but eventually I'm bound to get a white car with a clean fender. And then this door is a little beat up, and the roof. So my plan of attack at that point would be, lucky enough the quarters are clean, but at that point I'll probably wait for a car and then maybe try to get a fender. But this door and the roof, this door I'll probably live with. It's like one spot. But the roof, maybe I'll, I don't want to sound stupid, but I might just spray paint it for the time being and try to actually make it look good, like do a professional job, and just to clean it up. But like I said, the roof is the roof. I'm not worried about it. But that's the story with the body of this car. So it'll look a lot better sooner. But aside from that, let's get into the rest of the car. So moving on to the interior of this car, it's actually a black interior, which is another thing that drew me to it. So that is rad. It's pretty clean. It needs some love. But even cooler, this car came with a gray Alcantara wrapped headliner along with all the pillars. I don't know if the camera's doing it justice, but this is beautifully done. Even the sunroof panel, it is definitely, I would say it's probably professional, because even the corners look good on this thing. And it looks amazing. So I am super hyped about that. And then no trunk deck, but I'll eventually get that. This car came with a whole folder of service records, and in the service records you can see here the long block assembly from the 540. So there's your proof that it's a 540 motor. So you got the DME, the long block, and then the warranty, whatever, like 1,300 bucks. And then just a ton of service records for this thing. This car has had a lot of maintenance done to it, so shame it's not running, but whatever, it shouldn't be too hard. Came with the owner's manual, and then it's got a head unit, all aftermarket speakers, which is nice. No tweeters, which is odd. When I bought the car, that foot plate was off, and then this was off. I already put those on just because they were bothering me. And then, as you can see, it's a 5-speed. So this car is like a gem in my book, to be honest. 540 motor with the manual. It's not a 6-speed, it's a 5-speed from the 530, but who cares? Black interior, mint headliner, on airlift. Like, I'm pretty stoked about this whole thing. But heated seats as well. I mean, that's pretty much for the interior. Got a nice Alpina badge on the wheel. The wheel's chewed up. I'm gonna get rid of that for sure. A lot of love to be had in this interior. I gotta clean it up still. This seat has some rips, unfortunately, but I don't have any interior to throw at it right now. So let's get to the important part of this car, though. Let's check out this engine bay. Voila, there we have it. There is the big old B40. Without the beauty covers, there's really not, it's not too easy to see what the difference between a B30 and a B40. They're pretty much identical, but I did actually pull up the DME and check the number, and it is a 540 DME. So this is a proven B40. Don't worry, I'm not a fool. I didn't just blatantly buy this and not know what motor it was. It is a 540 motor, so hence I will be calling this a 540. If that bothers you, I truly apologize. But engine bay's clean. I don't know, what else to really go into in here. It looks pretty fair. The wiring in the ECU box is a little hacked, so I'm gonna have to kind of go through that to see if that's the reason why it's not running. So yeah, this is something that's never before been seen on my channel. You guys aren't used to seeing a V8 in these things. You're used to seeing the good old M50, because that's all I bring home. So this was a bit of a, I don't know if I want to call it a risk, but this was out of my comfort zone purchase. Similar to the Bel Air, I'm not a V8 guy, and I've never worked on them, so they scare me, and especially one not running, because who knows, what goes into it. But the more I look at this, the more it's simplified to me, and it doesn't seem like it'll be too big of a issue to get it running. I'm not worried about it, but working on this will be fun, and I think this will be a very refreshing car for me to own, and I think I'm actually going to really, really, really like this thing. So that's another thing then I got to figure out is what I want to do with this. Do I want to make this a build? Do I want to just get rid of it? Do I want to replace the wagon with it? Kind of my thoughts right now are I'm going to keep this thing at least throughout the winter and fix it up here and there, get it running, get it driving, get it looking pretty, and then come spring, maybe get rid of the wagon for sure this time. Maybe put like stock suspension on it and take the wheels off and lower the price a little bit to make it more realistic. And then maybe build this, because as I've said to you guys before, I'm a sedan guy, and I think having a B40 is really gonna like be super cool, because I hear they're kind of quick. So I think I would probably enjoy this car more than I enjoy driving this thing, but we'll see. I'm not for sure there yet. But yeah, that's the 540. Oh, let me show you guys the air suspension. So another really crazy thing about this car is this car actually came with an iPhone, right? And it didn't come on accident. The guy told me about it. So the guy I bought it from isn't the guy that built it, and the guy that built it for some reason just kept the iPhone with the car, because if you guys are familiar with the Airlift 3P, 3H or whatever, it has an Airlift app. So here you go on the phone, and I got the Airlift app loaded up. I'm sure I can get this on my own phone, but connected to manifold. So let's get out here, and then I'll air it out for you guys if I don't drop the phone. So yeah, there you guys have it. That's it aired out, and I think it looks sweet. I'm super excited about this. Airlift is not my thing, but I think it looks really cool on this car. I think it'll be really awesome. So I got caught up doing a few things, so it's a few hours later, but yeah, that's it aired out. I think this car has a lot of potential. I can't wait to throw some wheels on it. Probably won't be for a little while. I don't think I'll throw wheels on it before winter, but got all the panels to make this side look really nice. Got to pull that wrap off, get it running, get it driving, and yeah, so stay tuned. There'll be a lot of videos on this thing. Super excited. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys think I'm crazy for wanting to sell the Touring over that, but I don't know. V8 versus M50, I don't know. I'll see how it is when I drive it. If it's super fun, then we'll see. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.